As I was describing at the end of the previous video, now we're ready to implement search functionality in the REST API. So if you consider the actual blog, the blog where the actual website is, there's a search bar at the top. And I could search, like Django, and then it will find blog posts that with a body or a title that have a content of Django. If I was looking for, I could just type, other, that I expect to see the blog post with other in the title or the body. So we want that same kind of functionality in the app because at the end of the day, we're building the REST API so something like an app can use the database and the data and the blog. Just kind of like this app that I build right here that interacts with a website through its REST API. It's a recipe app where I can search, I could search breakfast, or I could search, onion, and it would look for recipes that contain onion. So all of these would contain onion. I want the same kind of behavior through our REST API so that we can enter some search text and it will search the blog post through the title or the body and pull up matching results. So that is what we're going to get started on in this video. So like everything else with Django, searching is very simple through the REST API. Take a look at the documentation at the API guide/filtering. So go to API guide, go to filtering, and go to the search filter heading right here. This is where you can learn how to do searching on the REST API. And it is really, really simple. And there's a whole bunch of kind of customizability when it comes to searching. So first of all, if you're using a list API view, which we are on the home screen, all you need to do is specify a search field and a filter backend. And then you just specify the fields that you want to search on the object class. So in our case, if we take a look at our application or in Sublime Text, our object class is blog post. So we want to search the title, the body, and maybe the author. So if we take a look at the blog post model, we have the title, the body, and the author. Those are the ones that we're going to want to search. So all we need to do is specify that here in our list view. And I also want to point out that there's a bunch of other things that you can do with searching. So it says by default, searches will use case-insensitive partial matches. Basically what that means is it's going to do something similar. Actually, I believe it's exactly the same as an SQL-like query. So if any of you know SQL, the database language SQL, it will do a SQL-like query on the parameters that you specify. But there's other things that you could do. You could do some other kind of behavior. So all you need to do is specify these different characters. So if it starts with an upwards caret, that means that the search has to start with the thing that you specify. Equal sign is exact matches. Full text search, which is that's basically an SQL-like query. Looks like, see, it's only part of a MySQL backend, which is what we're using. We're using SQLite. Or a $sign is a regex search. Then it gives you an example here. So if you specified some search fields and you wanted to have exact matches on a username or an email field, then you'd add an equal sign. So you can use all of those different kind of behaviors with those different symbols. So that's really cool because you can customize the search behavior. But we're going to be sticking with like a pretty generic, just SQL-like query. We're going to be specifying, the title, the body, and then the author. So this is something interesting here too, this double underscore thing, but I'm going to talk about that in Sublime Text when we actually implement this. So first things first, I need to go to the top of the file and we need to do some imports, some of the stuff that we're going to need for filtering. So from the REST framework .filters, import search filter, and also import ordering filter. Those are the two imports that we need. Now I'm going to scroll down to the bottom and add those search fields. So coming down here and also adding a filter backend. So filter underscore backends equals search filter and then comma ordering filter. And then we need the fields. So search fields equals the title I said and the body. And we want to search also for the username of the author. So if we take a look at our blog post model, we have the title, we have the body, and then we have an author field, which is a foreign key to the user object. If we take a look at the user model, or the account model, sorry, it has a username field. So how do we tell the search to search for the author, but we want to search for a specific thing in the author? We want to search for the author's username. Well, what you can do is you can do author, which is the model, and then double underscore to specify a particular field within that author object or that author model. And we want the username field. So that's all you need to do. So now we will be able to search the title, the body, or the author's username. All right, so let's go to our development environment. Actually, we'll go to Postman and let's do some tests. So we're going to leave the pagination here. Yeah, well, because I want to show you how to use this with pagination, but first I'll show you how to do it without pagination. So first let's do question mark. We're going to do a search, and then this is where you specify the text that you're searching. So we're going to search for a username. So I'm doing question mark search equals Mitch. And then that will find all the blog posts where Mitch is the author. Every single blog post has Mitch as the author, so that doesn't make much sense. But let's type, some other text. I'll do search equals Jess for the author, and just notice that we get nothing because Jess does not have any blog posts created. So next, let's do search. Let's search for a title. So let's search for where Django is the title. You can see that there we get that coming up. So let's take a look actually at all of the blog posts that are available. So suppose that I wanted to search for this one, or maybe this one. So this one has the keyword other in it, and none of the other ones do. So if I search the keyword other, I expect to see this result. So let's search for the keyword other, and then that is exactly what we get. So pretty cool and pretty simple. So now how do you use this in conjunction with pagination? Well, if I go to our project and I open up the settings.py file, so I go into settings and I change the default pagination size to 1 so that we actually will be able to see some pagination. Now watch what happens when I search the user Mitch. It says I get 3 pages worth of results. So if I want to go to the next page, I would just do and page equals to 2. And that's the second page of results. If I wanted to see the third page, because there's 3 blog posts from that user Mitch, I would go to page equals to 3. So that's how you use the search functionality in conjunction with pagination. The last thing I want to talk about is ordering. So you saw me in the view, I specified 2 filter backends, the search filter and also the ordering filter. So far, all you've seen me do is test the search filter. So what is this ordering filter thing? So I'm going to go back to the project. I'm going to remove that pagination restriction. I'm going to go back to 10 posts per page in the REST API. So now this pagination will no longer do anything, and I should see 3 results. So now how can I order these based on different fields? Well, I can specify an ordering parameter. So I can do and ordering, and you can see some things that I've tried in the past here. You can order by the different fields in the blog post object. So if I look at the blog post, I could technically order by anything: title, body, image, date published, date updated, whatever. So obviously a common one that makes sense would be date updated. So if I do and ordering equals negative date updated, that will show me, let's see, that will show me, these are all on the 18th. This one was posted, this is the newest one, and then this is the oldest one. So that would be the newest to the oldest with negative date published. If I was to do date published, so positive date published, the oldest one is first, and then the newest one is at the bottom. So that is one way. But you could do the same thing with like a title. You could do negative title, and that would mean that well, first of all, it actually does lowercase first and then uppercase. So that's why there's a little n here. But other than that, it goes the farthest down the alphabet, so closest to Z, and then it goes down to, so it's like reverse alphabetical order. So negative would be reverse alphabetical order, positive would be alphabetical order. So you can see that O comes before N, or sorry, D comes before O, and then the lowercase letters would come after the uppercase letters. But play around with it. You can do pretty much anything, but this adds a lot of functionality that we can use when we are interacting with the REST API from other technologies like a mobile app. It makes it very, very simple. So now at this point in development, we're pretty much done with all the REST API stuff for the blog posts, but what about the account properties? That's kind of the next stuff that we need to work on, because we need users to be able to basically view a profile. So you can imagine, almost every application has some kind of a profile, whether it's, Instagram, Facebook, your Amazon account. Everything has some kind of a profile where you can adjust, your email, your username, your password, all that kind of stuff. So that's going to be the next part of the REST API. We need to build something so that we can serialize account data.